down here in Baton Rouge. Best in the business going into year 21. How about that? Coach Moffat, Tommy Moffat with LSU Strength and Conditioning, 21 years on the job. Another national championship for Coach Moffat this past season as the Tigers 15-0, magical run, and getting prepared for another one. He's joining us here on Off the Bench on a busy morning. We appreciate his time as always. Good morning, Coach Moffat. How are you?
I am doing great, guys. How are y'all today?
Doing good.
Doing well.
One of the good problems you have in winning the national championship and playing so deep into the month of January is that everything kind of gets moved back on the calendar. How do you adjust with the success that you had last season and getting this year's team prepared to play?
Yeah, well, we just started today, so you just got to shrink the calendar and look at every day and make every day count, and so that's what we did. So instead of having a day off last year, we took a day off on Wednesday leading up to spring ball. This year we will not. We'll be doing something every day. So it's a good problem to have, like you said, and we started yesterday. The players had a phenomenal attitude. The attention to detail was amazing, and I think everyone is excited about getting back to work.
Coach, in the news in the offseason, is Coach Orgeron filling out his staff, his analyst staff, having the shadow staff around is something that he remarked on throughout the season as being one of the differences in having the football team prepared. You, too, have a shadow staff that helps you out. Some of the guys that go into the day-to-day of keeping this team strong and in condition, who are those guys that help you out?
Well, so I'd start with Travis Roy. Travis does baseball, but he works really hard. He's really good at Excel and does a lot of reports for us. Tim Johnson works with beach volleyball and soccer. Jeremy Jacobs is phenomenal. He's our perch man, former U.S. Army Airborne Ranger. So we call him the perch man, war toad. Does a phenomenal job. And then the last guy would be Earl Chevalier. Earl's been here for 12 years, and those guys all work with other sports here on campus, but they contribute a great deal of time with helping us in everything that we do. And then we have our full-time staff, Jake Riedel, Vic Valoria, Connor Neighbors. Everybody knows Connor.
Yes, sir.
And then Lance Barlow. So we have a huge staff of guys that help us on a daily basis, and they do a phenomenal job.
You mentioned the staff. You've also embraced technology as much as anybody in that building. How has technology helped out you guys getting prepared in the weight room?
Well, so for years and years and years, and still today, a lot of coaches rely on experience and intuition, and there's never a substitute for that. But evidence-based data and evidence-based training helps you to stretch the last bit of potential out of an athlete's DNA. And as strength coaches, we're only able to enhance what the good Lord has given you at birth or at conception. And we're not able to change people's DNA. If we were, T-Bob would still be playing.
Could have grown that other leg out, be better at those 110s.
Yeah.
If only both my legs were the same length.
So we're able to enhance some of those things and stretch out the absolute most out of each person. And it's all done by scientific evidence. If we're able to keep squeezing a guy, then we will. And then there's some guys, that the data tells us that that's all he's going to be able to give us, and we try to focus on something else. And so the data is what it is. It's finite. It's very accurate. It's the same technology that is used to guide fighter planes and everything. So it's very accurate, and we love it. And it's the new frontier in training, so it's exciting to see what's out there and to experiment with it and see how we can utilize it to help us win more games.
Speaking of stretching out, Coach, as Jordy said in the intro, man, 21 years here at LSU. Multiple national championships, both here at LSU and previously in your career. What's up, man? How are you keeping the motivation up?
Well, I think it comes natural. I love what I do. I love my job. There's nothing more that I would want to do, and I don't have any other skills, so I really have no choice. This is the only thing I know. But then the technology helps, because there's always going to be something new and exciting out there, and the more we dive into that stuff, the more exciting it gets. Plus, I work for a great man. Coach Ed Orgeron is one of the finest men and finest coaches that I've ever worked for. And he brings it every day. And when you're working with somebody like him and the rest of our staff, whether it's Coach Ensminger and now Bo Pelini, you're working with some great people who bring the energy every day. And, we feed off of each other. And I don't mean that to be cliche either. It's a phenomenal working environment where everybody's dialed in every day, and it's a blast. I had more fun. I can't tell you how much fun this year was.
Okay, so kind of right in that. I mean, you said the boys were locked in yesterday. Are there any concerns about, like, I'm just trying to put myself. I can see there's going to be a morning where maybe the guys aren't going to be locked in. Like, what are you going to tell this team that just won the national championship to kind of bring them back down to earth a little bit?
Well, I probably can't really say that on the radio. I mean, there are people listening all over the world, but every day, as long and I told you this when you were here, and I've told every group. As long as our worst day is better than everyone else's, we're going to have a fighting chance. And it's human nature to take days off, and to relax and, think that you've arrived and made it. But, it's our responsibility as a strength staff and as a football staff, equipment staff, sports medicine staff, to all do everything that we can do to make sure that everyone is dialed in every day. And I calculate an attitude that I want our team to have. Well, so it starts with my staff. I calculate an attitude that I want my staff to have every day, and I have that attitude first. And if I'm sullen and downtrodden and not enthusiastic about what we're doing, my staff's not going to be, and our team is not going to be. So I bring the pain every day, T-Bob.
I'm going to say sullen, downtrodden. Yeah. Those are never, ever words that I don't think I've ever would describe you with. I don't think you've ever been in that mode.
Right. So I bring the pain every day, and we'll just have to see. I hope nobody tests me. Because I've cleaned my garage 10 times over the last 2 weeks. There is nothing more. I'm weedy. There's not even any weeds to weed eat. I've been sitting around the house, and Jill's like, I can tell you're ready to go back to work.
Yeah.
So I'm jacked up.
And I believe it's good to hear. So if anybody out there was wondering, Coach Moffitt still bringing the pain every single day. Coach, what about Bo Pelini? A guy that was actually there, I guess, when I first arrived on campus back in 2007. You worked with him for a few years. Now coming back into the fold, what's your opinion of Coach Pelini?
Man, I love Bo. So we were, because his kids all went to St. Aloysius when he was here. So we spent a lot of time at soccer matches and flag football matches or flag football games when the boys were little, T-ball, you name it. So Bo and Mary Pat and our families were always very close. So it was great to see Bo come back. He came by the weight room to see us yesterday afternoon, and it's just great to have somebody like him that's fired up about being a Tiger a second time around. How many people get to do that in their career where they could, coach at a school like this and then leave and then come back and do it all over again after winning a championship? And so I love Bo. He's a lot like the rest of the guys on our staff, and I think he's going to really do a great job here for us.
Coach, I want to ask you something. Did you hear any of the whispers over the last few years that maybe you had lost your edge, or the strength and conditioning staff had lost their edge a bit?
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
And that, I don't, first of all, I learned a long time ago not to listen to what anybody else's opinion was. But the crazy thing is that there are people that I considered close friends that would say, "Hey, man, I heard you're not, I heard you don't have it anymore."
Wow.
And
Ballsy
so,
play.
I could care less about what other people say. The only people that I have to please is our football team and Coach Ed Orgeron and my staff. And so, everybody hears that shit. We'll start that day.
It's all good. It's all good.
It's all good.
We like emotion. We like
I'm
emotion.
getting pissed off. But, anybody that has ever been to one of our training sessions knows that that's not the case. And so whatever.
Coach, just flash him the ring once again. How many national championships is that for you now that you have rings for?
Three national championships.
Tennessee?
And I don't know.
No, that's just at LSU. And now how many for your career?
So I left Tennessee before they won the national championship, and I left Miami. So both times I left, and so I left Tennessee, and they went and won a national championship. And everyone asked me, "Did you regret that move?" Absolutely not. And then when I left Miami, they won a national championship. And here's the neat thing, and one of the reasons why I didn't. I was sitting, I was on our bus here, riding the bus. I don't remember what we were doing. I guess we were going to a recruiting function, or I was with our coaching staff. I know that. And my phone rang, and I looked down, and it said David Blackburn. And David was the director of football operations at the University of Tennessee. And it wasn't an hour after the football game, and I answered the phone and said, "David, what's up?" And he goes, "Well, I'm sitting here beside Coach Fulmer. Wow. He's got something he wants to say." So he hands the phone, and Coach Fulmer, had David call me, and he personally got me on the phone and said, "Hey, Tommy, I want to thank you for everything that you did. Although you were not here, you played a major part in this championship." And so that's the rewarding thing about what I do, and the type of people that I've worked with throughout my career. I've always been surrounded by great coaches, and whether it was Coach Fulmer or Coach Butch Davis or now Coach O, I've been so blessed to have worked with so many great people that were so complimentary and gave me the opportunity to do what I do today. And so, it's just a great place, a great time. I can't say enough about how special this place is.
The
man, Tommy Moffat joins us. I got two more questions for you. One about Miles Brennan. Tell me about the transformation he's made from 2017 until now.
So it's clearly evident. He's put on the weight. He's gotten stronger. He's more powerful. He's done everything that we've asked him to do. He's fired up. He was in there first thing yesterday morning. His warm-up was great. His workout was phenomenal, and I don't doubt 1 minute that he's not going to help us to be as successful as we could possibly be. I don't doubt it at all that he's not going to be successful here.
So everybody I talked to that's in that building that has seen these mid-year enrollees talk about this recruiting class, you've seen all these classes that come in over the last 21 years. Guys like Eric Gilbert, some of the headliners in these classes, where do they stack up?
It's a very good class. They are all, so we had them yesterday. Was the first time that we were able to do any type of organized training, because they, just like the rest of our guys, had these 2 weeks off. Even though they didn't play, they're still a part of our team. Mm-hmm. So, which I was hoping to get them in there. But they're all very flexible, which is huge. They all move very well. They had great attitudes. They're all very bright. So I'm very impressed. When you have size, speed, and flexibility, and a brain, it makes it really, really easy. And they're all very smart. Just talking to them, we didn't have to explain a lot of stuff. Keep explaining it over and over and over and over again. So I'm really excited about it. They're a great, great, great group of guys.
You're the best, Coach. Thank you, man. Year 21.
Thank you.
Everybody looking forward to it.
Hey, Jordan, let me ask you a quick question. Are you okay after the basketball game?
Coach.
He brings the pain every day, Coach.
The kid walked.
I was worried about it. Hang in there, okay?
Yes, sir. I'm coming to see you.
All right.
There he is, Tommy Moffat
I
checking in
don't
from
think
LSU.
that is ironic.
How good was
Coach,
that interview?
Well, also, that is ironic, though.
How good
Coach
was
Moffat getting mad at someone, or not getting mad, but Coach Moffat calling out someone for yelling.
He texted me. He was like, "Are you all right?"
I think he was
You
like
have
the
the wrong number?
happiest about our tweet when I put out the video. He was the one that loved it the most.
I mean,
Somebody else is a hothead.
Among the things that I've seen set Coach Moffat off, like it can be a player comes in with a smile on his face, but he's in the last group of the day. Why are you should have been up here at 7:30. Damn, getting after him.
You got him going on that question.
Yeah, man. I told you, it doesn't take much.
That was good.
He has the strength coach makeup where his motivation, the wells of motivation inside of his chest are endless. And you heard it right there. You got like a little glimpse of it where he transcends and becomes, hands down, one of the best strength coaches in the entire nation, is the fact that he has the brain to go along with it. And he is willing to constantly evolve, and he's willing to look at things like the data and the latest technologies. And so, yeah, if you thought he was losing his edge, national championship, he's back. He's fine. He is the X factor.
A building that has embraced so much technology, Ogeron and everybody will tell you that the wait staff has been on the forefront of that.
Yeah.
I mean, they have been on the forefront of the technology and how it can help the game and help the players get prepared.